Okay, we're going to be working this time with surface area and volume of pyramids. So it's probably been a while since you've worked with the pyramid. Shows up in our 7th grade book, so some of you may not have gotten to this last year. So working through pyramids. Well, first of all, let's discuss the pieces of our surface area. So if I were to take and unfold a pyramid, I have a bottom on this pyramid that is a square. So this bottom piece right there is a square. And off of each of those sides would fall a triangle. And I'm not the best drawer, so bear with me. But that's what you would call a net. So that's a net of our square pyramid that we have there. So this is really a square pyramid because the bottom shape is a square. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start out with we'll start out with the surface area this time. So to do surface area, we're going to have to find the area of each of those 5 pieces. So the nice thing about this one is when it's a square pyramid, your triangles are all exactly the same because they all have the same base number going around the outside of it. Okay, so once we find one of them, we can really just take that times 4. So we're going to pull our information. So we have our base side. So what that is telling us is that the side lengths of our base are the numbers that are identified here. So for the first one, our base side is 6. So this right here is 6. Our height is 4 and our slant height is 5. So we need to understand what the difference between our height versus our slant height is. Okay, so your height is going to be the distance between this base. If I could go and walk into the very middle of this pyramid, if I could stand in the middle of it, the height is going to be identified from the very middle up to the point of that, okay? Our slant height is what we're gonna have to use to do our height is going to be used when we do volume. And our slant height is going to be really the distance between the tip of this wall, as if it's a slide. So if I was gonna slide down this pyramid, the distance I would go from the tip to the bottom. So this one we're going to have to use for surface area is what we're gonna have to use for our slant height. So now you understand the difference between those. Height is the height of the pyramid from, if I was standing on the floor of the pyramid and I had to touch the very tip of that pyramid, how high it is. And the slant height is kind of like if I wanted to slide down the outside of the pyramid, how far would that be? Okay, so to do our surface area, we are going to have to use these 2 pieces. For surface area, we are going to use our base side and our slant height, okay? So our base side, they are telling us was 6. Our slant height was a 5. So this piece right here is 5. So to review how to find the area of this triangle, we have 6 by, the height there is 5. Remember, it's base times height divided by 2. So 6 times 5 is 30. Divided by 2 would give me 15. So each of these triangles is 15. Okay, and I'm, for right now, just kind of showing you, by writing everything out where I'm getting my information. Then I still have this middle square that makes up the base, and that is 6 by 6. So 6 times 6 gives me 36. Final step is I'm going to go ahead and add all of these together. So 15, 15, 15, and 15 give me 60, or I could do 15 times 4 because those triangles are all congruent to each other. And then I'm going to add 36 to that. So 60 between my triangles plus the 36, which was the base, gives me 96. So for this one, the surface area is 96. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the green one, the next one over. And bear with me here. I know that I'm kind of sketching a lot of stuff out, but I know some of you probably didn't get to this point last year. Okay, so my green pyramid, I have the base, okay, and they are telling me that the base side is 12. So that's 12 by 12, okay? And then I've got triangles that are coming off of that. And obviously the bottom of the triangle is 12. And then my slant height is the other piece I'm using. That is 10. So my slant height, my distance going there is 10. Okay, so for one triangle, it would be 12 times 10, and then it's a triangle, so we have to divide by 2. So 120 divided by 2 gives me 60. So each of my triangles is worth 60. There's 4 of them, so I'm just going to do 60 times 4. That's going to give me, so I'm going to write up here 120. So that's for the triangles. Not 120, sorry, 240. Good thing I caught myself. Okay, so now I also need this right here, which is 12 by 12. So 12 times 12 gives me 144. So that's the base, and I'm going to add those together. I get 384, and then whatever the dimension is. Okay. All right, so let's do the next one. So the next one I have, we've got a dimension for base of 18. So I have my square that's my base. It is 18 by 18. Okay, and if I'll just figure the area of that right now. So (18 times 18) gives me 324. Okay, so then I need the slant height. So I have 4 of these triangles, right? So I'm just going to do this times 4. I have 4 of those coming off. I'm just not going to draw all of them. And my slant height was 15. So this is 18 by 15. Okay, so 18 times 15, and it's a triangle. So I have to divide by 2, gives me 135. So this would be 135. So I'm going to take 135 times 4. Times 4 gives me 540. So my triangles together equaled 540. And then my base was 324. Okay, remember there were 4 of those triangles. So that's how I got the 540 right there. I took 135 times 4. So now if I add these together, I get 864. Okay, so there's your working through your surface area. So I'm going to let you guys finish those last 2 out on your own. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the video, and then I'm going to restart and do volume so that it's not such a long video. So you'll finish out the last 2 on your own, and you can check those with the answer key.